Right, the UK has reached peak moron. That's right, a toddler, this is between the ages of 3 and 4, genuinely, has been kicked out of nursery, school, preschool, for being transphobic or homophobic. Children don't understand that. They have no concept of what that is. Alright, sorry. Like, there's just no way that a 3 or 4 year old was actually being transphobic or homophobic. It's just not the case. That's absolute nonsense. But what we did learn about this is that apparently about 94 toddlers, children, have been kicked out of school due to similar circumstances. What are we doing? What are we doing? Clown show. So anyway, we're going to dive into this today. A little bit of, I guess more sort of, is it politics? Not really politics, is it? But just some nonsense that I thought we would take a look at. Why not? I do this from time to time. Hit subscribe if you are new here or a returning viewer that's not yet subscribed. It's about 50% of you. Be good to have you here more often. But yeah, let's take a look. So data from the Department of Education revealed that the child was suspended for abuse against sexual orientation and gender identity. A 3 or 4 year old, guys. A 3 or 4 year old. Okay. We're living in a clown world. This is peak clown world. So a toddler was accused of being I can't even believe I'm saying this. Let me compose myself. A toddler was accused of being transphobic or homophobic, was suspended from nursery. Data from the Department for Education showed a child aged 3 or 4 was suspended from a state school in the academic year 22 to 23 for, quote, abuse against sexual orientation and gender identity, according to a Freedom of Information request by the Telegraph. So although the school has not disclosed any further details of the incident, data shows that 94 pupils at state primary schools were suspended or permanently excluded for homophobia or transphobia in 22-23. So 10 of the suspended pupils were from year 1. So 3 or 4 again, basically. Or 5. But under the age of 6. What are we doing? And 3 were from year 2, where the maximum age is 7. It also showed one child was of nursery age. Latest Department for Education data from the autumn term in 2023 also revealed 82 pupils were suspended for the same reason. So the data, which has only been collected since 2020 to 2021 academic year, also showed the number of pupils suspended or expelled for homophobic or transphobic behaviour increased from 164 in 21-22 to 178 in 22-23. Figures for the autumn term in 2023 revealed all suspensions, not just for homophobia and transphobia, increased by 41% among primary school pupils, and permanent exclusions increased by a third. So this is what the Department for Education says. All pupils and staff should feel safe and protected at school and should never face violence or abuse. Any adult taking seriously what a 3 or 4 year old is saying to them should be fired. Any adult that thinks a 3 or 4 year old is being intentionally transphobic or homophobic to you should be fired. Categorically. Like 100%. That's clown world. So the Education Secretary has been clear that she expects school leaders to enforce good behaviour. And we're committed to a comprehensive programme of behaviour support for schools. What does that even mean? What does it even mean in relation to this? What is that nonsense? Look, a 3 or 4 year old has absolutely unequivocally no concept of this at all. Right? They just don't. They don't understand this. They're going to go what their reality is around them. All right. And this will be backed up by science. Their cognitive ability is impaired at this age. Right. Okay. Their sort of rational mind. One could argue being very rational here. But their rational mind is not fully developed. This is just a fact. So they're not being transphobic or homophobic at all. They can't be. They can't be. A 3 or 4 year old can't be that. Alright, this is just nonsense. Anyway, apparently Starmer, 2-tier Keir, does not support suspension of transphobic toddler. Why is this a headline? What we doing? We're a joke. Starmer doesn't support a transphobic toddler being kicked out of school. Mental. Oh, no wonder we're a laughing stock across the world. Sir Keir Starmer, 2-tier Keir, does not support a toddler being suspended from nursery after being accused of transphobia, Downing Street has said. Data from the Department for Education shows that the child, aged either 3 or 4, was suspended from a state school. So the reason stated, obviously we've been over this already. But yeah, so asked about the suspension of the nursery pupil, the Prime Minister's official spokesperson said, obviously the Prime Minister would not support those sorts of measures, but equally, I don't know the specific incident in the case. I think the data around this is all pretty significantly analysed, so I think it's quite hard to provide any comment on any specific cases. Pupils and staff should never be subject to abuse, but any action taken to tackle behaviour should also be proportionate. It's a 3 or 4 year old. You can't be transphobic. Shut up. So Helen Joyce, the director of advocacy at Sex Matters, a campaign group, said it was unforgivable that the nursery had imposed such harsh punishment. Every once in a while, the extremes of gender ideology throw up a story that seems too crazy to believe. A toddler being suspended from nursery for so-called transphobia or homophobia is one such example. Worse still, this is not an isolated case apparently. 13, 4 and 5-year-olds were suspended or permanently excluded from schools for the same reason. Teachers and school leaders involved in this insanity should be ashamed of themselves for projecting adult concepts and beliefs onto such young children. It's unforgivable for children's vital early education to be so traumatically disrupted by school leaders who prioritise activist demands over their charges' well-being. Yeah, I mean, this is just obvious. This is just pathetic and just ridiculous. And well worthy of a video, I thought. We live in a clown world. The UK is a clown world. What do you think? Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.